here is the magical equation to true health. Okay, it's pretty simple, nothing spectacular, but here it is. Clean out the body, fuel it with nutritional foods, and this is going to equal optimal health. It is that simple. Now here's what I'm talking about. Over time, our bodies begin to accumulate a bunch of trash from poor foods, toxins, and other chemicals from the environment. And what happens is certain organs in the body begin to just get kind of clogged up with this junk. And when one of these organs gets clogged up, it begins to affect the whole system. You can think of these internal organs like the engine in your car. If one of the pieces in your engines gets rusted or clogged up or just gets ran down and old, then it affects the whole engine of the car. And the engine is not going to run properly, it's not going to run as effective, it won't be as efficient, it'll slow down. It's a lot more harder work on the motor to keep going when one part is just rusted and broken down. And sometimes if it's too bad, the whole thing just stops and your engine dies. Same thing inside our bodies. Things just get clogged up and run down from poor foods, toxins, and other chemicals floating inside of our bodies. And when things begin to slow down in certain areas inside our bodies, they don't receive enough oxygen and enough nutrients to function properly. Now there are other things that happen during this, but I just want to keep this very simple for now. So when we remove this filth from the body, all the pathways and pipes are clean, and now everything functions beautifully and wonderfully. So where's the proof in this? Well, there are thousands of testimonies of people that were in even worse shape than I was that did these things, that cleaned out their body, gave themselves proper nutrition, and the body began to heal itself. But even after these thousands of testimonies, I was still skeptical because anybody can write something down. So I decided to step up and do some of these things that these guys were talking about, and then I could see for myself if this was really true. Because, like I said, I don't believe everything that I read. I do it, and then I test it, and then I can say, okay, yeah, this is right, or nah. And I won't lie to you, I was scared sometimes before I did these things. Because it's all new, it was all new to me, and I saw it and I understood it in the books, but when you go to do it in reality, it's kind of another story. But what really helped me through was this guy that gave me these books, and he actually had cancer on his neck, by the way, that he got rid of. And he was always there to encourage me and just say, hang in there, man, just keep going, it's going to be okay, and you're going to get all this junk out, and so he was kind of there holding my hand, I guess you could say, and that just really helped to comfort me and help me get through these things. And I hope that someday, I'll be able to, if you decide to kind of do some of the things I tell you about, that I can kind of be there to help guide you through this process. So sure enough, after doing these things, after about 2 weeks, my constant knee pain had completely disappeared, my fatigue was gone, zits were gone, bad breath, everything was just kind of cleaned out and running properly, and all this crap had disappeared. Then I knew these things were true because I had felt them and experienced them personally. But then a sad reality set in for me, that this knowledge was not taught to me or us in school, in the magazines. The doctors didn't give us this information. And this really disturbed me because of the years that I suffered and no one could really help me. So this is why I'm doing these videos and video courses in hopes that I can prevent you from becoming a slave to the medical associations that just want to make tons of money from you and me by cutting people up with useless operations and pumping them full of useless pills. Now don't get me wrong, it's good to have hospitals and doctors because of traumatic incidences, like, for instance, you're in a car wreck or you break your bone or something. Don't get me wrong, I'm not completely naysaying this, but when it comes to general health practice, I really believe we're getting robbed. And I guess one thing that gets me the most is when doctors say, well, you're just going to have to live with the problem. And I'm here to tell you that's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? Excuse my language, but it's true. And I'm living proof of it. And there's thousands of other people that are too. So all I can do is pass down the truths that I have learned to you in hopes that you don't have to follow the same road of a lot of medical expense and no results like I had. So I will try and explain all this stuff in very simple terms so that everyone can understand this. I had medical terminology in college, and I'm not going to try and impress you with a bunch of fancy doctor words. I really want to just lay this out for you so that it's very simple to understand and you can really see how all this works. Because they have kept us in the dark too long about these truths and how to heal the body. Why? Because money. Okay? These medical associations and pharmaceutical companies would lose a ton of cash if people were really getting healed and healing themselves. Just take diabetes, for example. Once they got you on insulin shots, they got a customer for life. And they'll even tell you there's no such cure, there's not a cure for diabetes. But there is. And if people knew that, then they would lose a lifetime customer. Same with psycho pills. I've seen people that are on these psychotic pills, and over time they just end up getting worse and worse, and they're just strung out on these pills paying for years and years. So what's happening is they're just making a ton of dough on the ignorance of people, myself included, because I paid a lot of cash before I really realized how to take care of my own health. Now, I'm not asking you to believe a word that I'm telling you. Hell, I'm just a good old country boy from Alabama. What do I know? But I am asking you to just try some of the things I'm talking about and prove it to yourself. And these are, normally the things that people do when they kind of hit the bottom of the barrel. And it's, this is their last resort. It's what usually happens. Hell, I did it myself too. I went through all the doctor's expense, all the medical expense, the pills. I wanted the magic pill too. I mean, you see it advertised all the time. It's advertised everywhere around us. Oh, I'll get this new magical supplement and pill, and wow, get the best health in the world, and blah blah blah. So all I can do is tell you what worked for me and for thousands of other desperately sick people. So once you've tried everything else in the book and it's not working, y'all come on back here and I'll help you out. Alright? So anyways, I just want to thank you for all your emails. Please keep sending them in to me. They are really important to me. All the nice emails that I've gotten have really touched me and inspired me to actually do more and produce more for you. So thank you so much again. I'm just one guy, so sometimes I get a little freaked out with all the emails. So don't throw rocks at me if I can't get to all of them, okay? I'll try my best to get through all of them every day, but just be patient with me, okay? But I will tell you what will answer a lot of your questions. On the front page of my website is free access to videos and pictures and things that I've taken over the years that will show you what I'm talking about and discuss it in a little more detail. So just check it out. Let me know if you got any questions. I wish you all the best. And if you decide to take this journey, I will be more than happy to help you through it. Alright, that's all I got for now, guys. Thanks for watching.